Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another week of Bibbidi Bobbidi Bros. I'm your host, Josh. This is my co-host, Pierce.
Heyo.
Today, we are going to collaboratively rank all of the roller coasters at Disney and compare them to the consensus of what most of the internet believes to be the proper ranking. And no doubt we will probably disagree with them and each other, but we will work it out and come to a fair answer and go from there. But before that, as we normally do, we're going to touch on just life updates and Disney news. I'll start. We're wrapping up the soccer season. It's been pretty fun. I think we got another practice and another game. Our game got rained out tonight. So
Yeah, but you guys had a huge second place over the weekend.
we did. Yeah, Alex pulled
That's
out
awesome.
second place. She came out of nowhere with some fire. I was super pumped for her. She played
I love
great.
that.
She's played the same team twice to win the championship, and the first time they lost 6-0. I think that lit a fire under her because she gave up one goal, and I don't normally say this, and I'm not going to blame it on the referee, but that one goal came on a blatant offsides that he refused to call. It was
I will say that's a
huge.
tough gig, right? Because they only do the one solo ref, right?
Right.
Like just a field
So,
ref. So that's a tough line to see. And if you didn't see that kid, then
it is what it is. That offensive player that I think it was the striker. I don't know if it was Wayne or striker. They came hot and they had nobody in their way.
Yeah.
And that's against one-on-one with a goalie. That's the advantage to the offense. So it is what it is. The fact that, in my opinion, she gave up no goals due to her own fault after they lost 6-0 that's gritty, man. That's fun to watch. She got fired up. She was so frustrating to these girls. They were trying to flop and call like hands there. What the heck? That's not a foul. Like it was clearly foot on ball. Like there was no foul. But they were doing everything they can because Alex was in their face. And
she's quick too.
She's very fast. It was fun. I had a good
Definitely
weekend
got her
but
speed from her mom.
She definitely did. Well, Steph likes to remind me regularly that she read somewhere that it's like 99% of athletic ability comes from the mother. I was like, well, good on you. I'm glad I married.
If you have girls or just children in general?
Children in general. I'm glad I married an athletic woman. So, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know how I got any of mine from my mom, but then again, maybe I'm overvaluating my own athleticism here. Whatever. But
you look at my parents, none of mine came from them. I don't know where it was nature, not nurture, or nurtured, not nature, whatever it is. It was a learned behavior.
Yeah, right. That's funny. But no, we had a good weekend. Addie starts volleyball, so that's exciting. That starts at the end of June.
Yeah.
The minute we end soccer, we jump right back in it to volleyball. That's our life, man. So, and our buddies, our friends down the road, the Bretzes, their daughter has a big role in an upcoming musical we're going to tomorrow.
Okay.
Shout out
what
to
musical,
Olivia.
do you know?
Alice in Wonderland. She is plays the part of Tall Alice. So shout out to Olivia. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah,
you'll
be awesome.
Hearing this afterwards, so hopefully it went well.
I'm sure it will.
As I tell all my kids before anything important, just don't suck.
That's what it sounds about right.
Yeah. If you don't suck, you'll be okay. That's all that matters. Yeah. What about you? What you got going on?
Well, Lily finished up school, so she's now on her way to kindergarten. So that's terrifying and heartbreaking and great and all those things all at one time. Really excited for her. She had a great school year. Preschool was what she needed the last 2 years to really blossom into being a social kid and all that. So I was really proud of her this year, and she got good marks and everything. And the teachers were like, dude, she's ready. So, awesome. And she's super jazzed to ride the bus in the fall. So that'll last about 2 days. But, so we got going on. So now it's summertime. So, my two girls are fighting constantly, which is great. So, but that's all right.
Youngest one's getting feisty. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
she got that second child feistiness.
yeah, she's not taking it anymore. So it's
No,
very
and Lily's the
entertaining.
rule follower. So Lily's like, "Hey, no, we're not allowed to do that." And Violet, the younger one's like, "No, bro, I got this."
Yeah, these are my kids too, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting, but yeah. And then other than that, not really. I had softball last week, and my first softball game in like 7 years. Solid 0 for 2, couple of errors, lost 16-0.
Wait.
It's pretty.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
what?
yeah.
I
It's
didn't know you had
bad.
a game already.
Yeah, it was last week. Yeah, yeah. We got smoked.
What
It was
happened to
actually the
you?
second game. I had my first at bat. I hit a well hit ball, but it went right to the left fielder. Like I pulled it, and then my second at bat, I was like, well, I'm gonna hit it to right field, and I dropped my shoulder too much, and I popped it up. And well, I hit a deep fly ball to right center, but the right center fielder caught it. So, and then
What? Well, it
I
sounds
didn't
like
get a
they.
third at bat because the lady in front of me was the last out of the game. So
That's
when you
brutal.
don't
If you
score any
only
runs, it's rough. Yeah.
that's brutal if you only got 2 at bats.
Yeah.
Also, it sounds though like they had some decent outfielders out there, and that league doesn't always have that. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hit it right at them. So that
yeah,
if I hit line drives, they're gonna fall. So
yeah.
but I didn't do that. My
What?
thought process on the first at bat was I was gonna try to hit it as far as possible, so I didn't have to run.
See,
And
I
then
like that.
when I swung, I didn't swing as hard as possible because I went back to
Mm,
my normal mitt contact and just get a good rip on it, and I did. But I mean, the outfielder had to move some, but he was already playing deep on me. So
what about
yeah.
the errors? That's what I'm most interested in.
Well, I started the game in the outfield, no errors there. Did fine, but then my coach moved me to shortstop, and I had one that was just a blatant error. Like I literally dropped to a knee, like I was in the outfield, like stopping a ball.
Yeah,
Terrible. And the other one, I charged a ball. I probably wouldn't gonna be able to throw him out anyway, but I did like boot it.
yeah,
But then I made some plays at short too. But yeah, it was just
yeah.
it was one of those nights where the other team was way better. Like they got hits everywhere, and we were behind from the get go. So
Yeah,
it was going to be a rough night. So
shout out to your coach, Tim,
yeah,
longtime listener
Tammy.
of the pod.
He is. He also had some struggles on the
Mm,
in the batter's box too. So that really hurt us between him and I. Like I think he got on base through a fielder's choice once, but he went 0 for 3 also. So I think 0 for 5 for the two of us is it's a rough spot.
well, game
So
one, you'll be all right.
well, it was actually game 2 because I missed the first game
All
because
right.
when Tonks passed my dog, I didn't want to. We were gonna have the appointment the next day, so I want to hang out with the family. That was a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I missed that one, and we lost like 17-7. So
All right. Well,
yeah,
rough.
but this next week, if we play, because it's been raining like cats and dogs, I'm pitching this week, so at least I don't have to worry
Oh
about
yeah.
playing like the defense, in the outfield or anything. So we'll see how that goes.
I'll tell you, I'm gonna make some of those games. I'm still gonna make a pickleball. You got a couple more weeks of that left.
Yeah, we're off this next week because of Memorial Day, and then
Yeah.
we'll have 2 more weeks. That's tournament time. The next
I'll
2
be at
weeks.
one of those.
But
I'm coming to one of those.
we got smoked this last week. Like the first match we played was probably the one we could have won, and we lost I think like 15-7 or something. And then we had a close one that was like 15-11, and then one that was like 15-9. But really, the teams we played this past week were really good. So, and I haven't been playing pickleball very long, so some of these people have been playing
Yeah.
for like years and years and play year round. This is only the second season I've ever played. So
You're a dabbler still.
yeah, getting up to the net makes me uncomfortable. So that's
Yeah.
something you got to get used to. So
Yep. I respect it. Well, I am gonna
yeah,
come
but it's
watch
been fun.
both. Yeah, I'm pumped. So
Yeah.
I'll be there within the next 2 weeks.
Well, in softball, you'll probably see a few people that you remember because there's still people out there. And also, I mean, Gwen and the girls will be out there. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I'll judge you. I'll let people know what I think.
I'll judge you.
Of
I
your
know you
aging.
will.
You know I will, but have to. Got to
So-
see how you've aged.
Yeah. So if we play this week, hopefully I'll at least get on base one time. So that'd be nice.
You will. You will.
a little out, little flare to right field, and
You're not gonna stay like your favorite player of the Reds, Chris Dickerson. Wasn't that his name? Oh, you loved Chris Dickerson back in the day.
Chris Dickerson. That's not ringing a bell. I do remember him.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, he was trash.
Yeah, you couldn't stand old Chris Dickerson.
He was
for
trash. Yeah, old dude. But the guy we have now,
Chris
is
Dickerson,
terrible.
longtime listener of the pod. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. So,
Who do we got now? You don't like?
DeBryan or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Hayes.
Yeah,
DeBryan Hayes.
The thing is, we're just paying him a boatload of money, and he is. I think he's batting like 172 or something like that.
I'm looking it up right now. 142. He won the Gold Glove last year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's batting 142. I think he hit into 3 double plays the other night.
Yeah, he's struggling. Only two HRs and 17 hits.
Yeah.
I will say, though, they have a picture of him on
I forgot
here.
about him.
There's a picture of Hayes on here with those all red City Connect jerseys, which at first I didn't like, but now he's wearing a black undershirt. Fire. Looks so good. That's what our old Shawnee Indians need. They look so cool if they wore that. Oh my gosh, be so pumped.
It looked like Walpock.
No.
Walpock or St. Mary's.
No. St. Mary's, they're blue and yellow.
No,
Rough
not
Riders?
St. Mary's. St. Henry. I'm sorry, St. Henry.
That's red and white though. The
or Delphus
Redskins
Jefferson. They're red and black.
Are they?
Yeah,
red and black's way better than red and white though. Like
I agree. That is
our
true.
colors at Shawnee. That was one upgrade I got when I went. And red and white's not bad. But
one upgrade. I like to think of better education. I'm just saying, think of better education.
Yeah, in some ways, yeah, in a lot of ways. Just in friendliness of my peers, that was a huge improvement. I'll be honest with you there. So. But that's for another tale and another podcast, not Bibbidi Bobbidi Bros, which I'm sure most people from Walpock wouldn't even like the name Bibbidi Bobbidi Bros. So, I mean, there you go. Facts. So, anyways, news, sad news. Tom Kane of Disney lore. He was big, in Star Wars. He was the voice of the monorail, the voice of Happily Ever After, the greatest thing Disney's ever created, has passed away. Young, sad. Sucks because we're not going to have that in the future.
Yeah, and it's one of these things that, like, like, people pass. Like, that's just a part of life, and it stinks when you hear, oh, this person died, or that, But when you hear that he was like, what, low 60s, it's like, wow, man, that stinks. And
it's a
just
hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's crushing for Disney fans. And when you hear that voice on the monorail and all that kind of stuff, it's definitely going to make you think about it, twice next time you hear that or you see Happily Ever After.
I'll be honest, I didn't know his name. I never looked into that deep of the Disney lore. But I obviously knew the same dude who did the monorail did. To me, he was just the voice of Disney parks. Like, he was the Disney World voice. And I remember sitting there on like a monorail or on something where I heard his voice, and I looked at my girls one time and I was like, that's my dream job. If I could have that voice that does that, and every time you walk in, you heard your dad's voice, even after he's gone. Like, Tom Kane's kids get to hear his voice every time they step on the monorail. How freaking cool is that? Just sad. Just you always hope, like, it's like a modern day legend. He's just. I didn't expect him to go yet, but it feels like he's been iconic forever. Wish I would have looked into him more before he passed. I think it's one of those things that you just kind of immortalize, and then when it's not, it's kind of like, oh, dang, what? So it caught me off guard a little bit. Sad to see that. Sympathies out to his family, obviously, but that's what I got on Disney news. Do you got anything on your end?
Just a few things. Like one of the big updates is the Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster. You know, the colors all going up on the walls. They're doing pre-show stuff that you can see and all that. And some reporting saying that they're going to be doing um, test rides and that kind of stuff soon. So that's really exciting. Another thing is the Bluey, whatever the Bluey section is. I think they're opening Memorial Day weekend, so that's coming like right up. So that'll be really cool. Obviously for people that have kids that are my kids' age, it's going to be a huge hit. I already know it, so that's good. And then the other thing is in Disneyland at Smuggler's Run, they've put in a Grogu Mandalorian mode or something like that you can somehow set and do. Um, let's just pray that they do something like that with our Smuggler's Run
Yeah.
at Disney World, because that would
I
be,
love
I
how we
say
say
ours, like
hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
I own it. I own it.
Yeah.
Let's hopefully
Yeah.
they'll do that. That seems to be the theme, that they're testing things in Disneyland, before they want to put it in Disney World. So let's hope that that's the case and it works out really well, because I just think, we've talked about this plenty, but if we could get away from the the 7, 8, and 9 and get
Yep.
back to doing 1 through 6 and all the other stuff too, that we would be better off with Star Wars
Yep.
fans. So as much as we can incorporate stuff away from the sequel series, their sequel trilogy, I think the better. Batu and Black Spire Outpost and all that will be better in the parks.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I'm hopeful for that change too. It give me something excited to go see at Star Wars. I'm a little bit of a hater on it. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I'm not a diehard Star Wars fan. I would say I'm middle of the road. Definitely don't know every character and love everything, but I could easily sit down and watch the movies and fully enjoy them. But I would like to be pumped for something new. Star Wars. A lot of money was invested into it. Let's keep it fresh. Smuggler's Run
Yeah.
could use something fresh.
Yeah.
I think the whole ride needs a bit of a change. I think unless you're a pilot, it's kind of lackluster. I'm not trying to crap on it because I do like the ride. I don't hate the ride. There's plenty of worse rides I don't like as much. But if you could somehow incorporate that to being different, like I'd love to see that ride become more virtual reality, where you wear like some type of augmented glasses or as the shooters or some type of screens,
Where you're actually,
goggles or something.
shooting something,
like
and,
I think
and
that
getting
would be
points.
really
and,
awesome.
Yeah.
Give it
Yeah.
even a Buzz Lightyear, not that comic-y or Toy Story comic-y, but that kind of thing where you're shooting a laser gun of some type and trying to hit targets. I think that would be fun. I don't know what you're going to do for the engineers. I mean, you hit buttons.
I'm sure. Listen, there is Imagineers out there that are far cleverer than us that could come
Yeah.
up with something that would be better than what it currently is. So,
Or if you actually hit some of the buttons that it changes the scenario and does different things. Like
yeah.
right now, you just hit them, and if you miss them, it still defaults.
Mhm.
But if it actually had some impact, just make it a little more interactive. It's plenty of interactive for the pilots. I just want something fresh for everybody else.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe down the road.
Yep.
I'm hopeful.
Yep.
All right. Well, do we want to get into this?
Yeah. All right. So I'll start it off. So like Josh had said, we're gonna go through the 9 roller coasters at Disney World, and Josh and I are gonna rank them. And then once we rank them as a combined consensus, we're gonna compare it to some of the information I got off the internet, from other people's opinions and websites and that kind of stuff. All right. So do
All
you
right.
want me to go through the 9 roller coasters first?
Yeah. Give us the list.
Okay. So in no particular order, I'll try to do it as close to alphabetical as possible. There's the Barnstormer, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Expedition Everest, Guardians of the Galaxy, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Slinky Dog Dash, Space Mountain, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Tron Light Cycle Run. And that's it.
All right.
So out of those 9, let's start with our lowest.
This is where we're
What-
probably going to disagree the most.
Um,
I think.
Okay.
Um, I'll let you. This is your thing, so
No,
I'll
no,
let
no,
you
no.
go
I'd
first.
rather no. I want you to give your
Okay.
opinions. So,
Okay. So my if we're starting at lowest, working up to the
oh,
best.
and let me just throw this out there. There is the caveat and understanding that Big Thunder Mountain Railroad just got updated at Disney World, and
Yes.
we haven't ridden it yet. We haven't ridden new Big Thunder Mountain, so we don't really know what that's going to be like. And obviously, with the update of Rock and Roller Coaster, I think we should put our ranking based on the change. It's going to be the same ride, but the change from Aerosmith to Muppets, and you know what I mean,
Okay.
having not
So
seen it.
so we are considering it to be Muppets.
Yes, I think
Okay.
that's the way to go. Just theme
Got it.
alone.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, if we're going from my least favorite to favorite, my least favorite when I went through these, and this isn't to say I don't like it because I love it, but would be Barnstormer.
Yeah. And I think that's a fair view. I mean, it's obviously a children's ride. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't thrill like some of the other rides on this
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
And I think that's a fair thing. So tell me about it. Why
I
would
mean,
you put it last?
so I think it's the lack of thrill. It's hard because sometimes it's one of the first roller coasters you experience with your young children, and you either have a really good experience or potentially a not so good experience. But I can see how that has a lot of love. I can see why it still holds. I think it's fairly fast actually compared to there's something about it that does stack up. I don't remember anymore, but it's not terrible. It's just it's kind of short. It's kind of it feels short. It's just it's a kid's roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
And so when you compare that to other ones, it's hard for me to not put it at the end. Now, by all means, I like it more than a lot of other rides that I like less at Disney World.
Yes.
We're just doing roller coasters, and this happens to be the least thrill. And I like more of a thrilling roller coaster, I guess. We progress, that will probably become a little more evident. So,
Well, I mean, pretty much everything's more thrilling than the Barnstormer, obviously, because it is a kid's ride that usually, you ride it if you're with your kids, or if you've never ridden it before, you ride it, and that's about it. So,
yeah.
yeah. All right,
Okay.
so I'm good with that. So what would be your number 8 then? So Barnstormer's number 9.
So my number 8, and people are going to disagree because there are some diehards to this, but my number 8 is Big Thunder. I don't love Big Thunder. Now, once again, haven't ridden the new one. What I disliked about Big Thunder is that it reminds me of Mine Train, but it's jerky, and I didn't love how jerky it was. There wasn't enough thrill for that level of chaos getting thrown around. So for me, if it's smoother now when we get on it, I'll have an entirely different opinion because I do like the theming. I genuinely do like the.
And we are taking into account the ride queue theming. We're taking into account wait times, all that stuff,
Yes,
in our rankings.
That ride theming, the queue and the theming, is pretty cool. I do enjoy that. I think that's probably why I would rank it number 8. But do you have a different one that you would?
You know what I don't like, and it's Space Mountain. I don't enjoy Space Mountain at all. I think it's a jerky ride. It only sits 3, so if you have a party of 4, you're not in the same rocket. It's uncomfortable to sit in as a medium to bigger size dude. You can't hold a bag very well with it because you have to like shove it between your legs or whatever, and all that. I don't like that it's just dark in there. I can't see where I'm going, and it just whips you all around, and it's not the thrill that I'm looking for. I want to see where I'm going and be thrilled by the views. There's no views in there.
So I had that as my number 7. So it can be interchangeable. I'm fine with putting that 8.
Okay.
I felt like I got more thrill out of Space Mountain than I did Big Thunder. They both felt jerky to me. I will say Space is far more jerkier than Big Thunder, but it did come with that dark ride thrill of just not being able to see that You make a good point about the size of the rocket, like being 3 and not 4. I don't know that I've had it where we all 4 wanted to ride at the same time yet. So that could be why I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would probably
That's
fine.
at Disney World, obviously, because at Disneyland they have a different ride vehicle.
Right.
On Space Mountain.
Yep.
And go back on Big Thunder. Let me just say real quick. Yep. I like Big Thunder. I enjoy the theming. I think it reminds me, like, we're from Ohio. We went to Cedar Point and Kings Island. It kind of reminds me of some of those old Kings Island Cedar Point rides that were like the wooden roller coasters and all that, like Mean Streak and that kind of stuff that have since closed. But it kind of has that like feel to it, so it doesn't really bother me. I have heard that the new ride is smoother, but obviously until we ride it, we won't know. Because the old version, they had talked about how you could like break up kidney stones riding that thing. So,
yeah. Well, I do feel like you would expect with new track and whatnot, it probably has to be a little smoother at least.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I'm like, okay, Space being number 8 is fine because that ride the other one probably has improved. Space Mountain needs an upgrade. Everybody believes that, so I'm okay. I'm okay with that being 8. Are you okay with Big Thunder being 7, or do you want something else?
No, I'm fine with that. I mean, I have other complaints about other things, but I'm fine with Big Thunder being.
What were you going to put 7?
Well, let me just say one more thing about Space Mountain that is an actual positive, and I've talked about it before on the show, is the Christmas overlay where it's all lit
that
up.
Is cool.
And they've got
that's cool.
That is super cool, and it is a great ride. But because it only happens for that month and a half, that's not a good enough reason for me to move it above 8. So,
I agree. I can agree with that. Yeah.
Some of my other complaints we don't really need to get into yet. I think we'll hold off. So I'm fine putting Big Thunder at 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now we start getting into a little bit more thick of it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I struggled right here in this area. That's next. The middle of the pack is where I struggled to rank. I went with 7 Dwarfs as my next one. I love the theming of 7 Dwarfs. I actually like the ride of 7 Dwarfs a lot. It's just it's not short, but it feels shorter. But it's not. I don't know what it is, but I think
it is a shorter ride compared to some of the other roller coasters. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's not as short as Tron, but it's shorter.
Yeah, and obviously I have Tron above this, but that's purely because Tron gives you more thrill than what 7 Dwarfs does. Once again, the queue for 7 Dwarfs is killer. I love the queue. I love the ride itself. The theming is great. I just don't. There were plenty of times when I'd go to the parks, and if that thing was at more than an hour, I was like, I'm good. Like, it's okay if I miss it. It's not. Some people had to ride it, but for me, it wasn't ever a must do because it was just a smoother Big Thunder to me. And people may disagree with that, but
I somewhat agree with what you're saying as far as if it's too long, I don't want to wait in line. Pre-Tron, that was your rope drop.
It was.
So it is kind of, I don't know. I struggle with that. And I think it's got one of the best queues of all the roller coasters. I think it's a great queue. It's interactive. Kids can play with the water stuff and touch all the crap in there or stuff in there that, they're all going to get germs with. Spin the gyms and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually really like the queue. And for the queue alone and the theming, I think I would actually put it up a little bit higher.
Okay.
But I understand the complaint about the wait in line, the complaint about the speed, the length of the ride, and the complaint about it being just a better Big Thunder. So I get all that, like a smoother Big Thunder. I shouldn't even say better, just smoother.
Yeah, smoother. Which, once again, after I ride the new Big Thunder, if that gets smoother, I might end up liking that more than 7 Dwarfs. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't count that out. What would you put if this was your own ranking? Did you have one specifically that you thought should go?
So I have
number 6.
two. I have two that are in the realm, and you've already
Okay.
discussed one in Tron. I think Tron is the most overrated ride, maybe in all of Disney World, and maybe in all
Yeah.
of Disney. It's the first 15 seconds are amazing, but
Yes.
then after that, it's fine. It's fine.
So
And you wait in line forever for this ride to be over in a minute and a half or whatever.
So this kind of works with space. Tron was my next one for that reason.
Okay.
Basically, it was a short ride, but a lot more thrill. I personally think you get more thrill out of Tiana's than you do Tron. Tiana's also is 10 times longer than Tron. Obviously, that's not a roller coaster, but if I'm just doing thrill rides, I feel like Tiana is the top tier thrill ride at Magic Kingdom. But Tron would be number 2. That or Space Mountain. It's one or the other. I'm good with putting Tron next because once again, I struggled with this middle area. It's like, well, I like the queue on both of them a lot. I think Tron's shorter, but it's also more thrilling. So do I want something that's 30 seconds shorter but more exciting, or do I want something that's a little longer?
I do feel like I don't think I'm wrong in saying that Tron's only like super exciting, super intense for like the first 15, 20 seconds of the ride.
Well, and
then you kind of just do a big loop. Yeah. And then and I'm not a Tron fan. I've never seen the Tron movies. It's one of the things on my list to get to watch this summer is to sit down with the wife and watch those. So maybe I'll have a different opinion after I watch the movies, but I think the theming's just okay. They don't do a good job of explaining the theming either in the ride queue,
I agree.
which is also a letdown. I do love, even though I've had mishaps with it, I do love the locker system they have there. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is neat. Plus,
and
it just makes you feel better, like
free.
your stuff's not going to fall out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's free, so you can throw your stuff in there, get it right back out and all that. I like that a lot.
And it's ingenious the way that you put your stuff on one side and you pull it out, if I remember right, on the other side. So you never mix the incoming and outgoing queues. They have doors on each side of that wall, which is
so it's just
brilliant.
ever flowing.
I know they've done that other places, but I still think that's a brilliant scheme. So,
but I think another thing about the queue is when you queue up, because the line's so long, you may be outside a lot of the queue, which can get warm.
That sucks. I will. I do agree with you being most overrated, and that's pretty much because there's a very, like you said, a short period of thrill for a very long wait, unless you rope drop or have a single pass lightning lane. I have no problem with that being number, what is it, 6, 97.6? Yeah. So what we have left going into 5 is Seven Dwarfs, Slinky, Rock and Roller Coaster, Expedition, and Guardians. This is where I would put Seven Dwarfs next, in my opinion.
I'm fine with that. I mean, I think Seven Dwarfs and Rock and Roller Coaster are like about equal for me, because I would put Rock and Roller Coaster pretty soon after that. Once again, it's an inside ride. So inside rides.
We finally hit a bit of an impasse here. You hurt my soul. It's that I personally think that ride is fantastic, and now we're only upgrading it with the Muppets. Like, I'm actually jacked about that.
I actually think I put Rock and Roller Coaster higher than Big Thunder now because of the theme change, and I haven't ridden it yet. But I think the theme change is going to be better because I'm not an Aerosmith fan, as we previously discussed.
I'm not. That was my least favorite part of it.
So I would definitely say that I would put it higher than those now, but I don't know if I would want to put it higher than Slinky Dog,
buddy,
Expedition Everest, or Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't think you and I are going to have a whole lot of issues with the last two, but it comes down to this whole Rock and Roller Coaster Slinky, right? And I get, I get why you love Slinky, especially because the last time you went with Lily was like epic. Like it
Epic. Yeah,
was
it was epic.
epic.
Yeah.
And
Even
I
though I
do,
sat next to some random dude, but it's fine.
but it's still epic. Like, and I
Yeah.
respect it. But
Yeah.
I do love that ride, but you can't compare the thrill of Slinky to Rock and Roller Coaster. Like it's
So
just
one, I yes, but the ride theming previous Slinky Dog's way better themed than
it is.
Rock and Roller Coaster, Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, something that Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster or Rock and Roller Coaster in general, new Rock and Roller Coaster too, ride queue's way better than Slinky Dog, where it's blazing hot underneath those canopies. No air
Yes.
moves around. It's just
That's brutal.
it's all
Yeah.
outside. It is brutal. But
It
the
might be
nice
the
thing
worst.
is, it might be the worst there. But the nice thing about that is, if you have people that don't ride the ride, there's places right there that they can still watch the ride
Yeah.
and see if they can see you going on the ride. Where Rock and Roller Coaster, they just got to go, do something else.
So here's what I'll say. I'll cave on this one. I'll give you
You don't
Rock
have
and
to cave.
Roller.
You don't
No,
have
no,
to
no.
cave. I'm fine with doing Slinky Dog there.
No, let's do Rock and Roller Coaster. I think that's valid.
Okay.
I think we reassess, at least between me and you, after we ride the new queue and theming
Yeah.
for Muppets.
Yeah,
Because I think
have
that might give it a bump. I think it might.
Yeah.
I understand if we're going off of Aerosmith, I might agree with you. I don't love the Aerosmith theming. It's just
Yeah.
even the ride inside with the highway signs and the
Mhm.
and all. It's just not. It's okay. It's more the thrill
It's
of the
fun.
ride that I like. If they change that up to Muppets all in there, that could be epic.
Yeah.
I mean, that
And
might.
if you're getting the thrill and laughing at the same time, I think that could be a really big win.
Yes.
Especially whatever music they're playing in there could be
Yep.
really fun. I'm assuming it's Muppet band stuff. So I definitely can agree that it's probably going to surpass Slinky Dog for me. But in the moment, like there's been plenty of times where we went to Hollywood Studios and we didn't ride Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
Like it was just nah. It's a long wait a lot of times too.
And it's kind of like Rise. Half the time it's down. I feel like they're always and so you kind of just check out from it. Like, oh well, no surprise, I didn't get to do that today. That's pretty typical of.
And hopefully they'll
day.
they'll figure out some of those ride issues
Yes.
with all the updates and everything.
Okay, so Slinky's next, then.
Yeah. So Slinky would be number 3.
And now we come down to the final two.
Yeah.
I hope we don't have to fight about this. I hope.
I don't think we need to. You go ahead though.
There's not a better roller coaster in the world than Guardians for me.
Yeah.
Like that is the top tier. So I love the theming on Everest is so great. Like it is so
It's
the best.
second
maybe.
to none. It's second to none in my opinion because it's not based on another thing, another property. It's literally its own. Yeah. Which is
I 100 and the Yeti, it's awesome. I 100% agree. I love it. But Guardians was mind blowing when I got off that ride. It wasn't just like something I'd done. I walked out, I'm like, what did I just experience? I sat there, my heart was racing for a good 60 seconds of just sitting after it. And I had to like catch my thoughts. I was like, that was the greatest thing I've ever ridden. So for me, it's got to be Everest and then Guardians. If you asked me which one we had to eliminate, like if they were going to shut one down, buddy, that'd be a hard pick because I love the theming on Everest and the nostalgia towards it. But if you're asking me which one am I going to pay for a single Lightning Lane pass for, I would never pay for single Lightning Lane to Everest, and I would every time on Guardians. So that's kind of where I went with it.
That kind of brings me to the one major caveat because I think both have really good theming. The wait, if you do standby queue for Guardians,
That's awful.
What are we doing? I mean,
half your day.
for me, I don't want to do that. The standby queue for Expedition Everest gets up to like an hour. It's not the worst wait ever. And you're at Animal Kingdom where it's a smaller, less to do at that park.
Yeah.
So Guardians, you're at Epcot, that you're going to spend all day doing stuff.
Yeah, I
So
actually just advised some friends. I was like, I don't buy a lot of single pass lightning lanes,
mhm.
but that is the one if I'm going to. It's
Yeah,
Guardians because that queue is forever long. And while I like the queue, the beginning of it's not that great. You get halfway in and it's cool. And obviously the whole show building up to it is cool and all that. But you're not going to convince me that that theming's better than Everest for me. I love everything to do with the ride and the queue at Everest. So I don't hate when I have to wait in line for Everest. Like it's not. I don't know. I don't despise it like some people
but
do.
usually
Maybe,
when you have
but
to wait in line for Everest, like I said, it usually maxes out at like 50 minutes.
yeah,
And there's some spots that are kind of warm because it's all outside. But I mean, there's inside areas, but it's all open air. But
yeah,
there's also like some breezy spots, and you know,
yep.
I don't
And I
know.
think that wait's only going to get better as the new stuff opens up
Yeah,
at Animal Kingdom because everybody's going to be rushing to that, and I'll be like, I'm still hitting up Everest. Like, I'll forever love that ride.
yeah.
So,
So
but yeah,
one thing. I'm sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you're
No,
good.
you go ahead. Nope.
I
You
was just
start
saying
talking.
that's why I went with Guardians purely just because overall, when it comes down to my money, I'm only spending money. I'm willing to spend money on one, even if they both had long lines. If I miss Guardians at Epcot, I feel like I missed a huge thing for my whole
Yeah,
trip. If I
I
miss
think that's
Everest,
the.
yeah, I still
I
am
think I paid
disappointed.
for
But
that the most.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? I think I paid the most individual lightning lanes for that. Like I think that's always the I'm gonna. I mean, there was one day where Gwen and I got in the virtual queue and
yep,
then paid for the lightning lane in the afternoon.
yeah, and I don't blame you for that. It's
So
that
and we rode it
fun.
twice. Yeah,
Like you're
yeah.
really talking about how long's that ride? Length of
No idea.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I mean, we haven't even talked about you get the music that's you never know the random music in there. It spins around. The
Yep,
visuals are so
it's
cool.
incredible. The
Yeah, it's got
downhill
good.
spiral as you're
Mhm.
like rotating or whatever, like
Yeah, you're
that's
like going into the
killer.
wormhole or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. It's three
yeah.
minutes and 20 seconds long. You're paying $20+ to ride a 3 minute and 20 second
Hmm.
long ride. And you and I don't just pay for stuff like that.
No,
Like,
no,
like if you
no.
said, hey, go do this event for $25 and it's going to be only 3 minutes of fun, you'd be like, dude, no. That's how good
Right.
this ride is. And it's rare, but it's that
Now
fun.
there has been some times on trips where we've went to Epcot twice on the trip and we didn't do it the second time, but that's usually because we're focusing on doing like showcase or
Sure.
the world showcase and all that kind of stuff. So we might not be doing as many rides and more just eating and seeing and sightseeing and all that. But usually if we're going there one time on a trip, we're gonna pay for the lightning lane and
And
do it.
I'm also paying to get sick. Like I walk off that ride,
Yeah.
and I told you last time I was with you, I was like, dude, I'm sorry, buddy, I got to sit down for like 5 minutes and just
Yeah.
let this settle because we went in that number 9 spot and got the wildest
Mhm.
ride. And I get car sick, so like this is a nightmare for me. Like
Yeah.
strategically, I probably should take something before I go to Epcot every day, but I'd pay it all over again.
Yeah, and
I didn't pay for
that
it
is a
that time.
good.
Gwen got it for us, but
Yeah.
I would pay. I would have for sure.
That is a good reminder, though, is that, folks, if you want the wildest of rides, try to get in seat 9. Ask the person right at the end of the ramp if you can be in seat 9. And
Yep,
for the
they'll
most
put
part,
you in a
they'll
waiting
try to make
queue.
it work. Yeah, they'll try to
Yeah.
make it work. So,
Also,
um,
if you get motion sickness, that ride's not going to be your best friend. It
or just
is.
try to be in the middle if you can.
Yep, and or take some Dramamine or do something. Just be aware
Yeah.
it is a smooth but wild ride. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I will never forget the first time I rode that, and the first 10 seconds of the ride. I was like, what the
Oh.
heck? Like it's I don't want to take it from anybody
Yeah.
who hasn't been there. Epic. So
Yeah,
I could talk about Guardians
so
forever.
So now that we've come up with our list, one thing I want to throw out there is that Test Track was not part of this because they're individual cars. So they
Yeah.
didn't look at that as roller coaster. So just keep that in mind, folks out there. We didn't have that on there for that reason. It didn't actually have
Test
a
track
row of cards.
would have been one of the last three for me, even if it
Yeah,
was
it
on there.
probably would have been down there for me too. Even with the upgrades and then the
Yeah.
new test track, it's still
I still
meh.
love it. It's okay.
It's fine.
Mhm.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
it's fast for a moment,
It
and
is
it's
fast.
neat when you do the banking. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
So do
not
you
my
want to
thing.
give a rundown of what our final 9 were, and then I'll start going over the internet view.
Sure. So do them all in a row.
Yep. Just from bottom to
From
top or top to
bottom
bottom,
to top.
whatever.
I'll do bottom to top. So 9 is Barnstormer, 8 Space Mountain, 7 Big Thunder, 6 is Tron, 5 is 7 Dwarfs, 4 is Rock and Roller Coaster, 3 is Slinky, 2 is Expedition Everest, and 1 is Guardians.
All right. So I think that's fair. So now let's go over what the internet said
This is
real
probably going to
quick.
piss me off.
So number 9, Barnstormer, not a surpriser there. What they said is basically a starter roller coaster for kids. So it's, you ride it once as an adult. If you don't have kids with you, you're probably not going to ride it again.
Sure.
Next is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at number 8.
That's completely ludicrous.
It's mostly because of wait times. It seems.
I mean,
that the wait times are too long.
That's fair, but there's plenty that have long wait time. Tron, whatever.
Yeah, but I think the positive for Tron is that thrill right off the get.
Yeah.
So next, number 7 is Slinky Dog. It basically,
I get it.
it says that adults often expected more because
Yes.
it's not a thrill ride. It's more of a comfort ride. It's a great ride for kids that are making that leap from Barnstormer to the next thing.
Exactly. But the theming is, and it's fun though. It is fun. It's
Right.
just, it's not a thrill roller coaster, but
Right.
it's still fun. It's got a good amount of speed. It launches you a little bit, and whatever. The internet sucks. Go.
Yeah, yeah. It does say that it is a family coaster to perfection, and I agree with that.
I do agree.
One
with
of
that.
another complaint about it is the visuals straightforward are terrible because you have
You
Slinky
can't
Dog's
see.
big
Yeah.
head. You can only see either side you're on, so that's not even when you go down. It's really hard to see. So that I don't love either. But
But I do.
they
You
didn't talk
mentioned.
about that.
I do love that you can find your family as you're riding and be like, "What up, dude?"
and it's
Like, I
going
love
slow
doing
enough that you can actually see people's
that.
faces.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then
I'm a
next,
fan.
number 6 is Space Mountain.
Okay.
And
fair.
it says basically it's just nostalgic, which I would agree with that.
It's not a comfortable ride. I will.
No,
give
it
you
actually
that.
says it feels very feels very rough compared to
Yeah, it
other
is.
roller coasters.
It's whiplash.
Number 5 is Big Thunder Mountain. It
They're
says it's
giving
the wildest
Tron
ride
way
in the
too
wilderness.
much credit.
It does say for Big Thunder, and keep this in mind, folks, that it says it's great at night. And I've ridden it at night, and I do recall I rode it during a Halloween party. We rode it like 3 times in a row because there was no wait.
Yeah.
And it was pretty awesome. It's
Okay,
a pretty
so
cool thing to
I
do
have
at night.
not. It's probably the number one coaster I skip because I just think, well, now maybe Tron because of the wait time being crazy. But
Yeah.
Big Thunder used to get heavy wait times for. Sometimes they're almost as high as Seven Dwarfs, and I was like, I'd rather ride.
Right.
I'd rather ride Seven Dwarfs. But they're saying Big Thunder's
Big
better.
Thunder's I'm assuming now, especially because of the updates. The updates aren't on here. That what I'm looking at, but
I mean, I'll give it another shot for sure. I'm gonna ride it.
oh yeah,
So.
oh yeah. I like it, so I'm definitely gonna ride it again. But yeah, I think everyone should give it another try if you like roller coasters.
Yeah.
So then number 4 is Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah, we got the same thing there.
It says the upcoming Muppets retheme may change the vibe, but the ride system will stay the same and be fantastic. So I agree with that. I actually think that the theming might take it to number 3 for me, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Which number 3 they have Tron Light
Okay,
Cycle Run.
That's crazy work, but we are always crappy on Tron, so.
Actually, it says here the main criticism is that it's too short, but
It
the
is.
first 20 seconds are among the most exciting moments at Disney World. So apparently I said 15. Apparently it's 20 seconds. So
but apparently we weight that much heavier than what they do.
Exactly. And just the weight line's so bad. But they say for you're getting what you're paying for as far as time spent.
But just think about that. The wait times can get as high as Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians is 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and Tron is 60 seconds.
Yeah.
That's overhyped. That's too much for me. But
Can you imagine if Tron was like another minute or a minute and a half long? How much higher it would rank?
Oh, it'd be my number 3 for sure. It would, for me. It would be. I still don't think it overtakes Expedition Everest because I just like the theming of Everest so much more. But
but it is a smooth ride. It's not the most comfortable ride vehicle because you have to do that lean forward bike thing. But
you can get the other ride vehicle, especially if you're a bigger person. And if you don't like leaning over, your back problems or something, I suggest you look into sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
But, I get your point. Yeah.
Yeah. Then number 2, as we expected, Expedition Everest. It's just iconic, man. And it even says here, longtime Disney fans still consider this number 1. And I'm right there. Like if Guardians wasn't so much fun, Expedition Everest would be my favorite because I just had so many great memories on it.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, I'm right with you. If you were going to be hardlined on it, I'd say, we'll rock, paper, scissors for it. But if I'd have lost, I wouldn't have been devastated. I mean, I love that ride. And one of the best shops at the end of a ride that you can go to.
Yes.
Like the shop at the end of Everest has such cool merch.
Because you're also like underground a little bit, it feels, because you have to go back, walk up steps. So and it makes it feel like you're in a cave or whatever, which is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. It's like it's Everest and like Pirates for my ride shops. Merch. I love those two. I don't ever buy anything from Pirates. I do from Everest, but I still think the shop is unique for Pirates. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. We should do that. Discuss our favorite ride like shop cues at the end or whatever. But or we should redo this just based on theming and not combined because that would change everything up. But
absolutely. So then finally we have Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I see on this like little description of why it's ranked so high, and I didn't really think about it, is it says huge rewritability. And I hadn't really thought of it that way. I could ride that, like I said, twice in one day and get a completely different song, get a different spot in the ride, which completely changes your view of the ride.
Yeah.
So I can see that. And
that ride is so crazy. You feel like you're watching a movie or you're in a movie kind of thing at some point. Just the way it's everything they do.
Yeah.
If you come back from Disney World and you like roller coasters and you tell me that ride sucks, you either are a terrible lame person or you lied about liking roller coasters.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
That ride is fantastic.
So probably the
best ride I've ever been on.
One of the things that I think Expedition Everest has over Guardians is, once again, it's an outdoor ride. So when you do get to the tops, the heights, you can kind of look out some and see some of, the park, some of Animal Kingdom, which I think is really cool. That
it is cool.
Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy being all inside. I'm obviously an anti-inside roller coaster person. I think being outside and, that can hurt with weather, but I just enjoy being outside more with it and feeling the wind in your face and the sunlight and all that. But
could they also get everything up and running on Everest? Like, what is it? The Yeti the
Yeti just never works, right?
I want it to work.
They've just moved on.
I know they've given up on it. I don't like that. I need them to go back to it. I need them to work on it and make it right.
Did it break with you and me?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Do you remember? Okay, so it must have been with Gwen and I then. It broke the last time we rode it, Expedition Everest. And we had to, it broke like right at the top. We had to get out and walk all the way down.
Oh, no, that was not me. That would have made me want to crap my pants probably. So
so we actually got stuck right before you go backwards. We got stuck right there.
At the top of the
Yeah, so we had to get out
Oh.
and walk all the way down. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm like,
Still
I'm gonna
love
need a
it.
few
Still,
fast
it was
passes for
actually
that.
cool because we get to see some of like the inside
Yeah, I
and
would have
all that.
actually liked it, but I'd have been a
Yeah,
little
it was
like
pretty cool.
a little
Yeah,
shook getting out of that vehicle at the top of the.
there's stairs right there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's not.
You
So,
don't
I mean,
see them
obviously,
because
yeah,
they're like underneath the ride, like next to the ride vehicle. So really, you just see like the rock formations right there. You know who's
oh,
leaning out
yeah,
to see if
yeah.
there's stairs. But literally, they help you like stand up, and then you just step out on a stair.
I've
The
been
only
like getting
thing
my
I thought
phone,
of was
taking
like,
pics left and right, trying to.
well, the only thing I thought of is like, what if you were like wheelchair bound and you had to use your wheelchair to get into the ride vehicle and then get out? Like you would have been in trouble being up there because
Yeah.
it's not wheelchair accessible right there. So I don't know what they do then, but because I remember the lady saying like, the cast member saying like, is everybody okay with walking? Because we do have a bit of stairs to go down. So, and everybody was fine that was on our car,
I
but
mean, now I want to know. Now I want to know
yeah, I
what
don't know.
happens. Oh
but
man,
but yeah, so that's our list. I think we were somewhat comparable. Some, obviously we don't rate Tron quite as high,
Tron's the
and
big
we
one,
and
and
we rate
Slinky.
Slinky Dog way higher
Yeah,
than they do. But
we did
I
match
guess
perfectly on 4 of the 9, though.
that's not bad though.
We had
Yeah.
in the 9-spot Barnstormer, in the 4-spot Rock and Roller Coaster,
Mhm.
and our top 2 were the same. So
Yeah, and I'm not surprised by the top two. A little surprised by Rock and Roller Coaster because we just don't know what it's going to be
yeah,
like. And then Barnstormer, I don't think is surprising. I have love for Barnstormer because that was the first roller coaster my kid rode on, and I got to ride with her, and I'll never
yep.
forget that. It was a great experience. She was.
Me
I
too.
was
For the
so.
opposite,
I
my
was
kid
so
did not love it.
scared. Oh, I was so scared that she was going to hate it. So I
Yeah,
was just trying to be like, it's okay, sweetie, and everything. And then we got the front seat, and she didn't even understand what that meant. So I'm like, oh, what is this going to be like? I didn't ask for it; it just happened. So I'm like, what? And I didn't tell her that we were going to be in the front because you get queued up, and we were just standing there, and she's like, da da da, as only a 4-year-old can. And
yeah.
sure enough, she got on that thing and was
Hey,
like, dude, that was. It, I was amazed because then we rode Slinky Dog, and she was like, I don't want to ride that other one again. This is too
yeah, you
good.
created a
And I'm like,
monster,
oh
buddy.
my God, that's awesome. So,
Yeah, you
so
created a
yeah.
monster.
So even for my 5-year-old, the Barnstormer is not good enough anymore.
I mean, I guess that's fair at a low
Yeah.
ranking at that point, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Tron and Slinky. Pretty much, you could switch those, and we'd be pretty close on our list. They kind of crapped on Seven Dwarfs more than I would have, but
Yeah. Putting them at
they
8. And yeah.
they flipped basically Big Thunder and Seven Dwarfs, and then Tron and Slinky.
Mhm.
That's where we were off in general,
Yeah.
roughly. But
I mean, and
at
if,
least
if
they
it
got
was
the
just
top
my
2 right.
vote, and if it was just my vote, Space Mountain would have been number 8 because I just don't enjoy that ride. Like that's one I'm like,
what was your list? Do you have it?
no, I
Or
didn't
you
really
just-
do one because I just
Okay.
wanted to talk to you about it. But I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
basically be Barnstormer, Space Mountain, probably Tron right after that at number 7, just because
Yeah,
of
you would have
the
dropped it
wait
pretty low
times.
then. Yeah,
Yeah, I just don't enjoy the wait times. And then I would probably say Rock and Roller Coaster,
My
Seven
guy,
Dwarfs, Slinky Dog.
you crap on Rock and Roller Coaster way too much.
We just don't ride it, and a lot of times, like you said, it's down or the wait times are super
That's
long.
fair. No, that's
So,
fair.
I mean,
I
I
think-
would rather do Slinky Dog than that.
I think we came up with, between the two of us, then a pretty fair, well-rounded,
Yeah.
compromised list.
Yep.
So,
I
and it
think
wasn't
so.
too far off from everybody else, but the internet's stupid, so whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah. And now
The
our opinions are out on the internet, so
Well, the
Can be
rest of the
completely skewed
internet,
again.
not longtime listeners of the pod. Cut 'em. What was it? That movie, The Internship. He put it on the line. Put it
on the line. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Just go on the line.
On the line does not like us. So okay. Well, I guess that wraps it up. That was fun. That was good.
Yeah.
Until next time, have a good week, and we'll see you. Peace.
Bye.